let's talk drums. Let's do that. So, um, behind me here, I have my newest kit, my DW kit. Uh, I'm running, separate microphones in every drum, as well as my two overheads, and I'm running a mic on my ride and a mic on my hi hat. Got away from running the microphone on the hi hat and on the ride for quite a while because I just always thought it gave me a bigger sound. I like the bigger room sound that it gave me. So I just want to, it's telling me to say something, so I'm just going to say something. There you go. Hey, to anybody who may be paying attention or may not be paying attention, feel free to ask me a question right online here. I got a question from a friend of mine, Chris. I saw you threw out there. The last video I threw out because I just, you know what, honestly, it was my first try at just doing like a studio live thing, and I just didn't like it. So, and I can see right now that my video is going to have to get better. But really, I'm just here to talk about drums, and what I'm not sure what I bring to the table as far as drums go. I know that I've been playing for a while. That I rack, and then a 14 and an 18, or a 14 and an 18. My 18 is huge, right? So that's kind of what I'm playing, and I'm more of a groove drummer than anything else. Is really where I head, right? When I'm doing what I do, that's where I always think a drummer should groove first and then worry about being fancy and finesseful and all that sort of stuff later, right? First groove, nice solid, steady, so everybody else in the band can count on you. And then if you want to throw other stuff in, I'm a big fan of throwing some syncopated stuff in there that would be odd from what everybody else is doing, but still coming back to the one and hitting it on time. Little tiny embellishments instead of great big things. That's just the way I've always played. The number one thing has always just been keeping time, making sure that my time is good. There's nothing worse than, to me, is playing time, and then all of a sudden there's a piece where when I come in, it's out and it feels awkward for that second. It's always given me a bit of a bad feeling. I never wanted to do that when I came out of that part, be in a spot where I was between the one and the two, lost in there somewhere where I really didn't, am I going to speed them up? I can slow down, and it's definitely going to sound that way. So I never wanted to be that drummer. I've just been a big fan of keeping good time. I love playing to a click track. I think of the click track as a drummer playing with me. Does that make sense? I feel like it's when the click track is going, it's like, I can feel the rhythm of the click track, and I can play around that rhythm. If that makes any sense, I can be on it. I can be in front of it. I can be behind it, and just keep moving. And a lot of people think that a click track gives it that dry sound. On that click, I try to be around it enough that when everybody else plays to me, they feel like they're playing it, and it's not just tick, 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 right? Everything perfectly in time. Because to me, if I was going to do it that way, I'll just program a computer, press play, and it'll do everything that I programmed it to do as a drummer, right? So, that's just some of my thoughts talking around drums. I think Bonham was incredible for playing around that way. I don't know if he played to a click, didn't play to a click, but it always seemed he was just a little bit behind with his kick, just a little, that thickness that he got when he played by sitting back a little bit. I always loved that sound. I've never wanted to really play on top of the beat. But I guess some music asks for that, right? To be kind of on top and driving. But he had a way of doing it where that didn't happen. So that's just the way it feels to me, right? So here in the next few days, I will probably go in and do another one of these Let's Talk Drums. And I'd love it if people wanted to get in and talk drums. Big fan of guitar players, bass players, keyboard players. Come in and talk drums. Let's talk about what us drummers do, and maybe you can understand where we come from and why we talk the way we talk. I also want to talk a little bit about keeping time and some of the ways that I go through my head and what I do to keep time. Right. Um, I think you'll find it interesting, some of the stuff, and I might even pull out some tracks of me playing where you can actually hear some of the things I'm doing in the back. It gets covered up by everything else, so you never hear it. But there's a lot of different ways that people keep time, and I like to share some of those. Also like to hear what you have to say about drums, good experiences, bad experiences, and what a drummer can do for you and how you can help work with the drummer. I think a lot of us don't listen a lot to everybody else around us. We get stuck in just playing what we're playing. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. Here's my part. But everybody else is playing, and that music is live while we're doing it. So being in the moment with that, it is okay to change and play things a little bit different depending on your style of music and what you're doing. And that way, everything's not just so exactly the same all the time. It's music and always growing. So, that's what I have for now. And, if you have any questions, anything you want to say, I can talk a little bit about miking techniques, or, I can even try some stuff that I've never tried before. Send me that direction, because I do run a recording studio here. So I'm always looking for new stuff. So, if you're interested, stay tuned. I'll be putting up another Let's Talk About Drums, and we'll get into some the meat of what's happening. So yeah, have a fantastic night.